Well, I hope you're all sitting comfortably because today we've got a great adventure with Elasmo. We're going to have an adventure in time. You know what time is? It's what goes really slow when you're in class. But today it's going to go really, really fast. So, what sort of adventure is Elasmo going to have today? Well, let's have a look. He's got a question. Where did my great, there's a lot of greats here, great-great-grandfather come from? Was he the Megalodon? Well, we know what a Megalodon is, isn't it? Great, great big shark. Now, the question is, was he the ancestor of Elasmo? Well, we'll have to go find out. So, Elasmo has got his wonderful yellow submarine, which it turns out is also a time machine. So he's starting from now, he's in the time machine, and he's going to, where's he going to? 300 million years ago, 400 million, oh dear, we're going fast, 600, oh dear, that looks a bit too far back. That's a little bit warm for Elasmo to swim in. 600 million years ago. Now, that is a long, long time ago. Now, if you think back to the Romans. Now, they were a long time ago, weren't they? But they were only 2,000 years ago. This is 600 million years. So it's way, way, way back in time. But I think he's gone too far back. Let's go a bit closer to our time. Let's see. Aha. Well, 575 million years ago he's gone through. And now, now we can actually see something that looks a lot better than lava. Look, Elasmo is playing with a trilobite, which is a sort of very odd sort of crab. And they're a jellyfish, and there seemed to be some sort of vegetation in the water 550 million years ago. But as he says, plants, jellyfish, and trilobites, but no sharks yet. Okay, I think he probably needs to go a bit further forward to our time. 500 million years ago and 450 million years ago. And look at this, corals, first fish, and the very first sharks appear. They don't look that much like our sharks, and they've got some very funny teeth, but they are sharks. So sharks appeared on the Earth 450 million years ago. So I think we can go a little bit closer to our time. I've seen this before, and there are flashing lights. So if you're a bit worried about flashing lights, close your eyes now. Oh, wow. Yeah, they really are flashing lights. All sorts of things happening now. I don't know, what on earth is going on? Well, that was very impressive. Where did all that wildlife go? I don't know. But what's happening? It was a big climate change. Something really, really big happened to the Earth, and it became colder. The oceans became smaller, and most of the life that was living on Earth at that time died, but not all of it. Sharks living in the deep water survived. So the sharks lived on. Let's get closer to our time and see what happens next. 400 million years ago, 350 million years ago, it's trees. Now, this is when trees actually arrived on Earth. Now, you can see trees, plants, you can see dragonflies, you can see skinks and things. There's even a lungfish, very unthink's lungfish. You can still see them. I saw some in Borneo the other year. So anyway, 350 million years ago, trees arrived. So sharks were here on Earth even before trees. Okay, let's go a bit further, closer to our time. Oh, what on earth? Well, it's a nice picture of the Earth. Can't really see very much. Oh, what's this? Looks like a big rock. Oh dear. Oh dear. Did you see that? That was an asteroid hitting the Earth. Very big bang. And guess what? The oceans got colder. Ocean creatures adapted to live on the land. They got out on 340 million years ago. But the sharks living in deep water, they survived. Let's get a bit closer to our time. Oh, 300 million years ago, fish moved to land and evolved into amphibians and reptiles. And you know what amphibians and reptiles are? Reptiles are things like snakes and lizards. And amphibians are things like frogs and newts. And here's one called a Thrapsida, which is a large reptile-like mammal, not a dinosaur. So this is a mammal. It looks very much like a cross between a hippopotamus and, I don't know, a cow maybe? And that was 275 million years ago. So we're getting closer to our time. And some of the things that are around on Earth are similar to what we see today. So let's continue our journey back. And, well, 250 million years ago, and this is what you can see. All the volcanoes on Earth seem to have started to erupt. So it's very hot and lots of smells and nasty things coming out of the volcanoes. So what happened when that happened? Well, the volcanoes erupted, the air on Earth changed, the Earth got hotter, and once again, most of the life on Earth died. It was an extinction. Extinction means getting rid of everything, and almost everything died on the Earth, but a few things stayed. And for example, the sharks living in the deep water survived. So sharks are still with us, even though most of the other things are now dead. Well, here we are, 250 million years ago. But where are the dinosaurs and the Megalodon? Yeah, I think we've just got to move forward in time again. So let's see. Oh, look what's happening. Good Lord, I think we must have hit some sort of portal or something else like that. Wow, look at that. The dinosaurs. We finally managed to get to the dinosaurs 243 million years ago. Remember? 240 million years ago, close enough to 250. And sharks arrived 450 million years ago. 200 million years earlier, a long time earlier. So you might think sharks and dinosaurs about the same time. Well, they were living at the same time, but dinosaurs only arrived 250 million years ago. Oh, there's a dinosaur. Now, he's a really big one. He's making a lot of noise. He's sort of, sounds like he's got a bit of a sore throat. But wow, I wouldn't like to meet him on a dark night. Oh, I wonder what these do. If I press on that, what happens? That could be fun. Each one is a different roar, isn't it? Now, if you only weren't watching this, you were actually looking at it on your own computer, you'd be able to drive your teacher absolutely mad by going through and playing all these. Well, that definitely sounds like a dinosaur with a sore throat. So you can play with these later on your own. So let's see, where are we going next? Well, we've got to the dinosaurs. Let's see what happened to the dinosaurs. Oh, 200 million years ago. What happened 200 million years ago? Well, we seem to have got lots of mammals. These are zebras. They're called a type of organism called a mammal. You're a mammal. We're a mammal. We don't look like zebras, but they're a type of organism called mammals. So everything seems to be happy 200 million years ago. Wow, what's happening here? Oh, the Earth seems to have got very, very hot, and possibly a bit too hot. Yeah, the Earth became very hot, and the land got very, very dry. But you got grassy plains, and many species of animal evolved on those new grassy countryside plains. And guess what? Where were the sharks? They were in deep water. They didn't worry about it being hot because they were nice and cool at the bottom of the ocean, and they survived. So they kept going through all these different times when the Earth got too difficult for many organisms to live in. So what else can we see? 175 million years ago, snakes arrived, turtles, octopus, and 100 million years ago, modern sharks. Now look at that one. You wouldn't want to meet that one on a dark night. That's called a frilled shark. I know these things. Okay, and this one is a guitar shark or a guitar fish. Looks a little bit like a guitar. In Maltese, it's called a violina. Okay, and here's this is a goblin shark, and you see why it's a goblin, because it's got a funny big nose. Okay? So 100 million years ago, all is fine. There's lots and lots of different sharks evolving, lots and lots of different animals. What could possibly go wrong? Oh dear, I've got a bad feeling about this. I think we could be looking at, yes, it is another asteroid. And the asteroid was 10 miles across. So what happens when a 10-mile across asteroid hits the Earth? Well, it's coming in at 65,000 miles an hour, which is very fast. It comes in, it goes through the atmosphere, it gets very hot, but when it hits the Earth, it explodes. And in fact, it created a crater which was 200 miles across. But what happened to everything that was in the crater? Well, it went up in the air as fine dust. And this made it be a bit like winter. And this winter stopped all the plants from growing because there wasn't enough sunlight. And those little dinosaurs that used to eat the plants died. Now, if the little dinosaurs died, the big dinosaurs, which used to feed on the little dinosaurs, they had a problem. There was nothing for them to eat. And so they died off as well. So 65 million years ago, that's when all the dinosaurs died out. But, well, who'd have known? Sharks living in deep water survived. So the sharks still are there, but the dinosaurs aren't. Oh yes, where is the Megalodon? That's what we started with. So 30 million years ago, the Megalodon arrived. And the Megalodon was a really, really big shark. Great big teeth. If you look at the picture on the right-hand side, you can see these teeth are 4 or 5 inches or 8 to 10 centimeters long. They are very big, and because its mouth was very big, and they were certainly bigger than buses. Over 15 meters long. In fact, some of them we think are actually going to be much bigger than that, because the biggest shark at the moment that living on Earth is the whale shark. Its name, whale shark, gives a bit of a clue. It's very big, and they can be up to 18 meters long, can whale sharks, but they're very, very gentle, and they like to eat something called plankton, which is like little tiny shrimp-like things living in the sea, and they filter that out and eat that. But they can be very, very big, but they're very gentle, and I've swum with them, and they're really nice. We're great fun. But anyway, the Megalodon itself, you've seen how big the teeth are, and you've got an idea of how big the jaw is, but compared to our jaws, it's really, really big. So let's have a comparison between people and the jaws of the Megalodon. Yep. So there it is. And you can see the size of it. See the size of the human beside it? Wow, That's really, really cool. In fact, let's see it again. Here we go again. Look at the size of the person. Wow, absolutely huge. You could stand up in there. Okay, so let's just carry on. So here's the Megalodon. You can see it swimming in the ocean. It was the apex predator. That meant that actually pretty much nothing would eat it. And as an apex predator and being very big, it used to eat very big things. But climate change happened 3 million years ago, and the seas got hotter, and there was less food for the megalodons. And those megalodons got less and less until finally they couldn't find each other to even produce more megalodons, and they became extinct about 3 million years ago. So that was the end of the megalodon. So despite what you might see on Discovery Channel, there is no such thing as a megalodon in the seas at the moment. Yeah. Do we have an answer for elasmo? Yeah. So the megalodon went extinct when the seas started to cool down, leaving no near relatives. So no, the megalodon was not elasmo's great, and all the rest of them grandfather. Okay, when did humans arrive? Well, the humans arrived, thankfully, after the megalodon had died out 2 million years ago, which is not long at all when you consider that sharks were here 450 million years ago. So that's almost 250 times as long ago. But we're very close to our modern age, because only 2 million years ago, you can say only 2 million years ago, just 1,000 times longer ago than when the Romans were here, remember? Okay, so, okay, says Elasmo, I'm probably not related to the megalodon, but my family have been around for 450 million years and survived 5 mega disasters. Did you actually recount those? There were 5 mega disasters, or what I called extinction events. How cool is that? Okay, he's going to go back to his own world, or he is back in his own world, and what we're going to find out next time? Well, that's for me to you to know, and for you to wonder about. And that's it. It's all gone. So I hope you enjoyed that, and maybe next time I'll get to talk to you again. So goodbye for now.